Good morning everyone. We are now on lesson 4. And this is performing operations and solving problems involving rational algebraic expressions. Last time we were finished with dealing rational algebraic expressions. But this time, let's perform operations with them, which means we will add, subtract, multiply, and divide rational algebraic expressions, and then later we will apply them in solving problems. Okay, now rational algebraic expressions, as we have studied, is in symbols, where P and Q are polynomials, where Q is not equal to 0. So we will see them in fraction form. There is a numerator, which is P, and Q is a denominator. And make sure that your denominator is not equal to 0. We will deal with fractions with the same denominators, or in other terms, they are like fractions. They have the same denominators, or the number under the bar. Also, we have fractions with different denominators. In adding and subtracting fractions, we are to perform operations with the same denominators, and we also deal differently with fractions with different denominators. Okay. Remember, we have an example, 3x squared over x minus y. Your 3x squared is your numerator. The number or the variables on top of the bar is the numerator. And then remember also that the variables and your numbers below the numerator is your denominator. Make sure you are familiar with this. Now, let's go to adding rational algebraic expressions with the same denominators. Kapag parehas ang denominators, ito ang ginagawa natin. Let's have some example. 1 over 3x plus 9 plus 2 over 3x plus 9. You notice that we have the same denominators, and our denominators are 3x plus 9. Parehos sila. And so, the first step is to copy the common denominator. Just copy. Example. So, we have there 3x plus 9. The next step is for you to perform the operations in the numerator. And so, we will add the numerators. Our numerators are 1 and 2. So, just add them. 1 plus 2. So, we'll have, copy the common denominator. The answer is 3. So, our answer now is 3 over 3x plus 9. And then, the last part is to simplify. Remember, we have discussed simplifying rational algebraic expressions. Always simplify your answer, which means you have to examine your answer if it is already in its simplest form or not. In this case, our answer 3 over 3 times x plus 3. We factored only the denominator because 3 in the numerator is already a factored form, or in its simple form. Now, notice a common factor that we can divide. So, it's equal to, okay, it will become like that. We are to divide 3 and 3 because they are common factors. So, it will remain, their answer will remain as 1. Our final answer is 1 over x plus 3. So, 1 over 3x plus 9 plus 2 over 3x plus 9 will result to 1 over x plus 3. It is already in its simplified form. Let's proceed to another example. This time, we are to subtract rational algebraic expressions with still the same denominators. Okay, we have 7x over 2x minus 4 minus 5x over 2x minus 4. Notice that we have still the same denominator. So, first step is to copy the common denominator. There. And so, let us subtract because we have minus sign there. 7x minus 5x. That's performing operations in the numerator. Copy the common denominator, then subtract. Because they are of the same term, si 7 may x, si 5 may x man. So we can combine them. We can subtract them. 7x minus 5x is 2x. Okay, so here is our answer. And the last part is to simplify our answer. Now, is this already in simplified form? I think not, so we have to factor. 2x over 2x minus 4 becomes 2 times x minus 2 using your greatest common monomial factor. Okay, and so what is the common factor that we can divide? Is there a common factor in our numerator and denominator? Yes, there is. It's 2. 2 is common, so it will become 1. What remains is our answer. Our final answer is x over x minus 2. That's it. Next, let's go now to the next one. Adding rational algebraic expressions, this time with different denominators. Ano ang gagawin natin kapag magkaiba ang denominators? Let's see. Our given is 2 over 5x plus 9 over 15. Take note that our denominators are 5x and 15. They are not the same. They're different. So, the first step is to find the least common denominator. 5x and 15 must have a least common denominator. For 5 and 15, what number is small enough that we can divide it from? Common sa 5, common man sa 15. And then, syempre, si x kasama. And so, the least common denominator of 5x and 15 is 15x. 15, pwede ta ma-divide si 5 kag si 15 and then si x araman. Okay. That's our least common denominator. Next step is to rewrite each expression by using the LCD. We will do divide and multiply process. Using our LCD 15x, let's divide this first with the first denominator. 15x divided by 5x. Again, 15x divided by 5x. The answer is 3. And then, the answer 3 will be multiplied to the numerator of the first given. 3 times 2 equals 6. Again, that's 15x divided by 5x. Answer is 3. 3 times 2, 6. Copy plus. Okay, so the answer in the next one is 9x because 15x divided by 15 is x. And the answer x must be multiplied to the numerator 9. That's 9x. Again, 15x divided by 15. Answer is x. X times 9 is equal to 9x. So we have there the divide and multiply process. We cannot combine 6 and 9x because 6 is just a constant or number, while 9 has x variable. So, what are we going to do next? To perform operations in the numerator. Since we cannot add them, just copy them and proceed to the next step. Simplify. Is this in a simple form? I think not. We have to factor the numerator and the denominator so that we'll have a simplified answer. What is the factored form of 6 plus 9x? Using the greatest common monomial factoring, that is 3 times 2 plus 3x. Because 3 is common, 6 and 9 can be divided with 3. So 3 times 2 is equal to 6. 3 times 3x is 9x. This is the factored form of 6 plus 9x. And our denominator can be factored as 3 times 5x. So we have a common factor, which is 3. And so we will divide it. Okay, let's divide it out. And the remaining factor will be our answer. The answer is 2 plus 3x over 5x. This time, let's proceed with another one, subtracting rational algebraic expressions with different denominators. Let's try example, 5x over 4x squared minus 1 over 2x. Take note that your denominators are different, 4x squared and 2x. So the first step is to find the least common denominator for 4x squared and 2x. What number can we divide 4 and 2 with x squared and x? And so the least common denominator is 4x squared. 4 can be divided with 4. 4 can be divided by 2. And x squared can be divided by x squared and x. And so this is the least common denominator for them. Next step is to rewrite each expression by using the LCD, or divide and multiply process. Using our 4x squared as LCD, let's divide it with the first denominator of the first given. 4x squared divided by 4x squared is 1 times 5x. And so the answer is 5x. Copy minus. This time, 4x squared divided by 2x. That's 2x times 1. Again, 4x squared divided by 2x is 2x. 2x times 1. And so the answer is minus 2x. That's divide and multiply process. Next step, perform operations in the numerator. Now that 5x can be subtracted with 2x because they have the same denominators with the same power, we can combine them. Let us subtract 5x minus 2x. The answer is 3x over 4x squared. Remember, always copy the denominator. Okay, again, we got 3x from 5x minus 2x. Next step is to simplify. Is this in simplified form? What is the common factor of 3x and 4x squared so that we can simplify it? Okay, the common is x. And so, 1x will be divided by another x in the bottom. Remember, when we divide variables, we just subtract its power. Makuha ang isa ka x sa babaw, and then makuha mo ko isa x sa dalom. And so the remaining will be the answer. The answer is 3 over 4x. Next, let's go to multiplying rational algebraic expressions. Multiplication as operation is one of the easiest operations with rational algebraic expressions. Okay, it doesn't matter here if you have the same or different denominators. Let us have this example. 3m over 4x times 2x over 6m. First step, multiply the numerator to the numerator and denominator to denominator. Numerator to numerator, just multiply. 3m times 2x, that's numerator to numerator. Then denominator to denominator, 4x times 6m. And so the answer is 3m times 2x and 4x times 6m is 6mx and 24mx. 3m times 2x is 6mx. 4x times 6m is 24mx. Then next step is to simplify. What do you think is the common factor of our numerator to the denominator? Let's simplify. 6mx over 24mx in factored form is this. And so, the common factors are 6mx. And so, the remaining will be the answer. 6mx divided by 6mx will become 1. Final answer is 1 over 4 or 1/4. Okay, and the last operation is dividing rational algebraic expressions. Again, it doesn't matter if they have the same or different denominators. 3m over 4x divided by 2x over 6m. This is your dividend, or the first given, and 2x over 6m is your second given, or other words, this is the divisor. Multiply the dividend and the reciprocal of the divisor. Use the multiplication process. So first thing is to copy your dividend, which is 3m over 4x. Copy, and then proceed in multiplication. Change your division operation into multiplication. There. And then reciprocate or flip your divisor. Your divisor 2x over 6m must be flipped. The denominator must become the numerator, and the numerator must become the denominator. In this case, 6m is already the numerator. 2x becomes your denominator. Sailuhon mo, baliskaron mo ang imo nga divisor. And so this became 6m over 2x. Next, proceed as in multiplication. Let's multiply the numerator to the numerator, denominator to denominator. 3m times 6m, and then 4x times 2x. The answer is 18m squared over 8x. Let's review. 3m times 6m, that's 18m squared. 4x times 2x, that's 8x. And then, the last part is to simplify. Let's factor 18m squared and 8x to simplify it. And this is the simplified form. 2 times 9m squared is your 18m squared using your common monomial factors. And 8x becomes 2 times 4x squared. And so the common factors are 2, and the remaining will become your answers. 9m squared over 4x squared. This time, we will go to solving problems involving rational algebraic expressions. Let's use the operations on rational algebraic expressions to solve problems. Let me give you tips. Steps in solving problems. Number 1 is to read and understand the problem. We have to keep on repeating and in reading and to understand the problem. Sometimes you just lack patience in reading and understanding the problem. That's why we cannot solve it. Next is to represent the unknowns with variables to make the equation. Let's make use of our favorite variables so that we can make a mathematical sentence or equations. And the last is to solve for what is unknown. Okay, let's try to understand the first statement and try to convert the problem into a rational algebraic expression. Marie can finish a whole 9 inches pizza in 2 hours. Marie can eat a whole 9 inches pizza in just 2 hours. And so, if we will make it half a day, she can finish 6 pizzas in 12 hours. Or, that's 1 pizza in 2 hours. Another one. Marvin can shoot 40 3-point basketball shots in an hour. In just an hour, he can shoot 40 3-point basketball shots. And so, Marvin is a good shooter. 40 good shots in an hour. Or translated in 2 hours, that's 80 shots. That's the rate of how good Marvin can shoot a basketball. And the last one. I answer 3 subjects a day. I'm doing my modules a day, and so I can finish 3 subjects a day. This means that I can finish 3 subjects a day or 6 subjects in 2 days. Those are examples of how we interpret problems into rational algebraic expressions. But let me give you an example. 7 divided by the sum of a number and 2 is equal to half the difference of the number and 3. Find the numbers. Step 1. Read and understand the problem. So repeat on reading and reading until you understand. 7 divided by the sum of a number and 2 is equal to half the difference of the number and 3. Find the numbers. Step 2 is to represent the unknowns with your variables so that we can have our equation. So let us represent x. Let x be the number, a missing number, a number. It is mentioned here that a number, and so let x be that number. Let's make now our equation. 7 divided by the sum of a number, which means I have to add, and 2. 7 divided by the sum of a number and 2 is equal to half the difference of the number and 3. First, let's deal with the difference of a number, which means we have to make difference is subtraction. The difference of a number and 3. Half the difference, so that's over 2. Again, 7 divided by the sum of a number and 2 is equal to half of this, that's why over 2, the difference of a number and 3. Here is now our equation. And so, here is our mathematical equation. Having this, we have to cross multiply. We have to multiply x plus 2 times x minus 3. And so, x plus 2 times x minus 3 equals. And then, cross multiply also 7 times 2. That's 7 times 2. Having this, we have to do the box method or the FOIL method. FOIL method, first term, x times x, x squared. X times negative 3, that's negative 3x. 2 times x, that's 2x. 2 times negative 3, negative 6 equals 7 times 2, that's 14. Let's simplify. Let's combine this. X squared. Negative 3x and positive 2x is negative x. Then copy minus x equals 14. Let's transpose 14 into this side so that we can factor. Okay. X squared minus x minus 6. From positive 14, it will become negative 14 equals 0. And then, let's combine them. That's x squared minus x. Negative 6 and negative 14 is negative 20. And so, our equation is here. X squared minus x minus 20 equals 0. All you need to do is to factor x squared minus x minus 20. What are the factors of x squared minus x minus 20? Given x squared minus x minus 20, this is a trinomial. First, do not mind this. This is a trinomial. This is a perfect square, but this is not a perfect square. So this is factorable by general trinomials. What are the factors of negative 20 so that we can get negative x or negative 1 in the middle? And so, this is factored by x squared, x, and x. Factors of negative 20, so that we'll have negative 1 in the middle. That's negative 5 and positive 4. Negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. In the middle part is negative x equals 0. We are equating this to 0 so that we can solve for x. And then we have the factors. Now let's divide them. Equate x minus 5 into 0. X minus 5 equals 0. And then also x plus 4 equals 0. Now solve. We have to transpose negative 5 to the other side so that we can solve for this value of x. Also, positive 4 to the other side so that we can solve for x. Remember, when you transfer them to the other side of the equal sign, they can change their sign. Okay? And so, x equals 5. From negative 5, you transferred it to the other side, that becomes positive. Also, we have here x equals, from positive, it will become negative. The other way of writing this is x minus 5 and x plus 4. We'll do the addition property equality. We have to add 5 here so that, also another 5 here so that this will become 0. So x minus 5 plus 5. And then we also add another 5. Okay? X, this negative 5 and positive 5 will become 0. So you need to write 0 plus 5 is 5. You still get the same answer. In here, you have to subtract 4 so that x will remain, and subtract 4 also on the other side to balance the equation. Add negative 4 and then add another negative 4. X. 4 and negative 4 is 0. No need to write. Equals 0 negative 4 is negative 4. Okay. Get the same answer. So it depends on you on how you would solve it. Using the transposition or the addition property of equality or subtraction property of equality. The answer is, find the numbers. That's 5 and negative 4. The numbers are 5 and negative 4. So the numbers are 5 and negative 4. Let's go to the second one. Ruth can paint a room in 2 hours, and her sister, Esther, can paint the same room in 4 hours. How long would it take them to paint the room if they work together? Step 1. Read the problem and understand. There are 2 people painting the room individually. Ruth can finish it in 2 hours, while her sister can do it in 4 hours. But the question is, how long would it take them to paint the room if they work together? You know, working together makes the job easier, and they can finish a lot earlier. And so, the second step is to represent our unknown to your favorite variable. My favorite variable is x. And so let us represent. Ruth can paint 1 room in 2 hours, while Esther can do 1 room in 4 hours. But if they both or help one another, let's say that's together, okay, put it here, together, they can finish 1 room in X hours. This we do not know, and this we are going to solve. And so, let's arrange our mathematical sentence. For Ruth first. Ruth can do it in 1/2. 1 room over 2 hours. Plus, Esther, 1/4 hours. If they help together, they can do it. They can do this room 1/x hours. And so, here is our mathematical sentence. 1/2 plus 1/4 equals 1/x. Let us solve for x. And by solving this, we will find the LCD, or the least common denominator, because they have different denominators. What is the LCD for 1/2, 1/4, and 1/x? The LCD must be 4x. Using our LCD 4x, let's multiply both sides of the equation, in the left side and the right side, also 4x. Okay, 4x times 1 is 4x over 2. Just multiply it in the numerator, plus 4x times 1, 4x over 4, plus. Then the right side, 1 times 4x, that's 4x over, copy, x. Let's simplify them. 4x divided by 2 is 2x. Plus 4x divided by 4 is x. And then 4x divided by x is 4. Add them. 2x plus x. That's 3x. Copy equals copy 4. Then to solve for x, we have to divide both sides by 3. We will divide 3x by 3 so that x will remain. Also, do it on the right side of the equation so that it will be balanced. So this will equals to x equals 4/3. Which means Ruth and Esther can both finish their room in 4/3 of an hour. What is 4/3 of an hour? Let's convert this into the actual hours. And so, 4/3 of an hour is equal to 1 1/3 of an hour. Or, 1/3 of an hour is 20 minutes. So that's 1 hour and 20 minutes. Ruth and Esther together can finish the room in 1 hour and 20 minutes. Thank you so much for listening. I want you to repeat this video so that you'll understand well, and more of exercises and examples will be given to you through our messenger. I hope you understand. Thank you.